Well, good afternoon, my YouTube friends. It's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids, and it's Phalaenopsis Monday. Although I have to say I've partly watered in here, and then Keith and I have been in the garden and we've been digging. So we've had 3 hours in the garden, so that's enough for the first, if you like, encounter with the garden since October, November, because you know what happens, you get backache and you realise that you've stiffened up during the winter months. But never mind, it's another fine day tomorrow, and we'll be out again tomorrow. And let's have a look. This is Chia Yinlin, and I've checked that today, and sorry about that. That sphagnum moss is not quite fully dry, and we just have to keep our fingers crossed. The same with Little Zorro. That's been hydrated, and of course Little Zorro's giving me a new leaf there, and I've not yet cut her spikes. And Phalaenopsis amboyensis here, these have just been done, and that little flower inflorescence there. Now these have to be watered every day, especially at the moment when we've got these high temperatures, and in fact somewhere today they could actually reach 19°C, which is quite unprecedented for us, because we're still in winter, and we should have temperatures of around about 9°C. So all these are having to be watered daily because it's that hot here in the grow room. And this is the one, if you remember, a few weeks ago. I think this one was one I got from Tesco supermarket, and I actually found out it's called Breeze. And this is today its actual first soaking, not in fertiliser, just in plain rainwater. And it hasn't dropped any buds, which I'm so thrilled about. And this one sits up on the top shelf here next to the Dendrobium delicatum, and now that's been watered, and that's been watered and fertilised today. And what's that there? This big white one here, you'll see that flower now is just starting to fade, and we might be lucky and that bud will continue, but that's been watered today. The mounts across the window have also been watered, and Phalaenopsis japonica, that's not been watered, but that was watered the other day, so I have to be careful I don't overwater them. And these are the newcomers, and that's the Lucinary, I think if that's the right, Vandocostylis lucinary, and that one just hangs there. I found it quite secure there. So that's been watered. All these little Vandaceous ones have been watered, including the two little Tolumias there. We've got the humidifier on, and the humidity's been up to 70 today. It's dropped down a bit now because I've had the door open. And this is the Vanda miniata, the one that's got the flower spike on. I did cut some of the roots that were just completely desiccated, and that one there. Oh, it's lovely, this lovely cool mist here. And so what else? Let's just have a look round. It's 24.6. At one point it was nearly 26 degrees in here, and we're 62% humidity now, so at least we've improved a little bit. And because I'm filming now and the sun's passed over, I'll just put this light on just to help. And these, I'll just talk about 3 of these orchids that I got this week. and this is the Masdevallia, Pisces or Pixie, something like that. Sorry, I've covered up the label, and it's mounted, and it doesn't actually stay in here all the time, because apparently, so Michael informed me, this one's a cool grower, and it does like to be kept quite moist. So I thought, well, what I'll do, there's a pot inside a pot. There's another pot inside that pot, can you see? And it sits on this little vase here, and I don't have it soaking wet, but I just keep it hydrated. And this one, because it apparently likes a cooler environment, this one in the evening will go out either into the landing or into the back bedroom. And likewise yesterday, what I did with this one, and this is the Scaphoglottis, and can you see, and what I've done with that one, because it's so warm in here, and I've put this in. It should just hook on the back there, but whether it will, there we go, it's supposed to hook on the back there. And because I've been hydrating them, then by the afternoon they want watering again. Well, I mean, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I'm not here, so I've got to have some means whereby they've got access to water. Let me see now. So I had thought about remounting this, but when I checked the roots, some of those roots have gone through that cork bark. So I thought it best then that I'll leave that well alone, and so that one's fine. This one here, this is the two that I've put in this little vase here, and Mediocalcar, that one there. Now can you see? That's, I'll go up through the top in a minute. So that's the Mediocalcar. And this other one is the Tuberolabium. That's that one. And they just fit on that little piece of plastic. And I'd found some yesterday whilst in the garden. I found some moss, and I cleaned this moss up. Good job I did, because there was a slug in it. Whenever we look down here now, there's two kinds of moss. I've put no water at the bottom though. There's like a little tiny, like a lichen moss. Don't know if you can see it down there. It just very low grow. It's very low growing, that one. And this other, of course, is it's quite large. It has runners, the other, so it just sits on that shelf over there with the little lid on. But I'm not sure whether or not putting moss in there is a good idea or not. I'd have to take advice on that if anybody's got any idea, and because that's not something that I've done before. But on saying that, I've just give them a light watering now, and hopefully they'll come along fine. I'm not sure about the air movement though. It worries me sometimes that I'm not giving them actually the quite right environment, but what can you do? It's all trial and error. And this one I'll pick up now here. This just sits on the, do you like that? It's a book holder I had in the kitchen, and this little Lady Harry Benson's sits on it nicely. Now this was fed and watered yesterday, Well, that nearly as dry as a bone again. Can you just see in there where, I don't know if you'll see it, there's a little bit of brown. I think that's where I cut off one of those pseudobulbs. Can you see a little green point? And that's the new life. I can't see it anywhere else. It sits over there in the window, but even then, over in the window I have to be careful because it can get scorched with this weather, and this will have to be watered. I'll water this shortly. I have to be careful. So what I'm frightened of is giving it too much water and it staying sodden and it causing that rot again. But hopefully it won't. Now let's move over here and let's just get down on one knee. And this is the Hoya. And I haven't watered it yet because there was a little bit of moisture, and we're set for this fair weather now for 2 more days, and then we're going to go cold again. So it's one of those fine lines between watering it, and once the weather turns, then I could find myself in the predicament that it's going to be stood in cold media, and of course they do not like cold media. Hoyas don't. And let's just show you. I've just moved it from over in that corner. It sits over there in that corner, and I'm sure, see that little growth, that little shoot, I'm sure that wasn't there yesterday. So it is really taking off, and there's another little one there. So I'm absolutely thrilled to bits with that one. And let's have a look at this one now. Oh, this is the Oncidium. Oh, sorry, it's not. Well, it is, and it isn't. It's a Gomeza. And then you see, that's very light. And because it's the Oncidium type, I might just put that in a container just to let it absorb some water up, because it is in active growth. And there's that one there, and the other one's over there in that corner. And all in all, like I say, we've been out in the garden today, and what with having to deal with the orchids and also to deal with the garden now, everything's we've opened the boxes for the dahlias that we stored last year, the begonias, and some of the little tiny tubers. So we're going to be busy these next, well, I've got tomorrow, and then and of course I'm back at work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But we can only do what we can do, and I think this is all now as an update. May have a look now. Is there anything else? That of course is the big Cymbidium coming along nicely, and I've got it on the calendar. It needs watering today, so I might just flush that through today. And let's have a look here. Is there anything else? I don't think there is, so I'll take my leave of you now and leave you with these blooms of this nice Phalaenopsis breeze. So from me to you, take care. Bye bye now.